Hi guys, it's been over a year since I posted on this channel, but I recently went to register my car and got the notification that it is state refereed in the system. So I figured it would be a good chance to share the process of a state ref in California. I'm going to kind of go over how it happened. 3 years ago now, I guess, my emission system, so the secondary air pump and the little secondary inlet valves and all of that, everything took a shit. And instead of fixing it at the time, because the parts, labor, everything would have been over $2,000, and I just wasn't in the position earlier in my 20s to deal with that at the time. So I paid for what I thought was a hot smog in the system. Turns out it was a bypass, and my car got flagged in the system. So last year should have been a smog year, and I had a feeling that when I got my registration and it didn't have a notification about having to go smog, that I was flagged in the system or something was going to happen this year. And sure enough, year 3, because California smog for my year vehicle should be every 2 years, got a notification this year on the 3rd year that I do need a smog. So I got a secondary air pump from a friend and had a shop called Renner Racing down here in SoCal fix that for me, and lights were off, everything, all the codes stayed off, and took it to a smog shop and tried to play dumb and like plug it in and stuff. And basically I got notified by the smog tech that the car needs to be inspected by a referee. So here we are. Then I was driving home from the referee and my check engine light popped back on for 2 different parts. So today I'm going to take the car apart. I'm getting the parts later today, but I'm gonna start that process and try to fix it. So I need to replace this guy, which fairly easy to get to, and then the second one I need to get to is kind of hidden right there behind the manifold. Have not been able to find a video online how to do that, so we're gonna experiment together, but this one is where I'm gonna start. Okay, this guy's mostly removed. I did this little clip. There were 2 10s right here, undoing the hose, or undid the hose, and then there's 2 10s under this hose inlet that I need to take off. Got it. This little bracket bolt was a bitch. Yeah, still need to remove the second one, but took the hose off and I kind of see I see one bolt that I need to undo, and I see that plastic clip, so we'll see. And then this thing is going to get plugged up and wait till I pick up the parts and then put it back together. Got myself in a pickle. I found a thread online and most people remove the manifold. I am not doing that. So YouTube. So what I was just saying is that I gave up on the one valve back here because I just can't get to the other flange bolt. So that'll go into the shop again, and they'll clean my injectors as well because I know it needs it, and I have my MAF sensor. But who knows, maybe this will be enough to get me through the ref and keep the codes off for a while. But I need the car tomorrow, so yeah, I'm gonna wait for that to dry, because I ended up taking that off. It's the little guy that goes here and runs to both of them, and it was full of grime. So yeah. Alright, hi guys. So I just found an automatic car because my shift knob will not stay mounted to finish talking about this, because I realized that I did not finish that state ref log. So after I put the car back together, I did that one inlet valve that I could do myself. I drove the car for probably about, it was bad. It was like 400 miles. I went to go get my motorcycle license. Honda put me through that, so I technically have my M license now. But anyways, had to drive it to Colton, California, which was pretty far for a weekend, and the light stayed off. So I ended up scheduling a state ref with it had an air pump and that first, I think it's bank 1 inlet control valve. So the morning of my state ref, my check engine light pops on for the bank 2 valve. So you get charged if you cancel. So I, like a dumbass, just cleared the code. Wow, these windows are really dirty. Like a dumbass, just cleared the code on the car and drove it in knowing that the monitor wasn't going to be set. So took it to the state ref. We're here at the ref. Sure enough, the guy was super nice, but he basically was like, yeah, your monitor's not set. And I kind of explained my situation, and I got sent home with a bunch of paperwork, and basically before I could schedule the next one, I had to prove that the monitor was set. So like a month goes by because I'm traveling so much for Supercross. Like, keep in mind, I'm on the road every weekend at this time. Like, this was filmed a few months ago. And yeah, so then I took it back to Renner Racing and had them take off the manifold and get to that bank 2 inlet valve. And they also did my injectors. They cleaned my fuel injectors for me and just did some other stuff while the manifold was taken off. And then I got the car back and I kept getting another code for secondary air pump, like the pump itself. And then when I checked, I had a blown fuse. Like, there was no power going to it. So I figured somewhere along the way of me not replacing the second valve, either the fuse popped and that seized the pump, or the pump seized, which popped the fuse. So regardless, ended up having to buy a brand new pump, replace that myself, which I'm not sure if I filmed. I did on my TikTok. There was a little series done following this. All right, we're back. Trying to get my Subaru WRX to pass a state ref in California. New air pump came. Gonna remove this one real quick. It is gonna be, obviously, remove the hose. There is an electric plug down there, and then there is 3 side facing. That one looks like a bitch to get to, but little 10s, there's 3 of them. So we're gonna remove that, and then it should just lift right out, and I'll put the new one in. Okay, so I ended up removing this entire bracket. So there's 2 here, and then there's 1 way down there. They're all 10s, because I could only get to the 1 bolt down there, the 1 nut. So removed this hose, removed another one for some more room, and just unplugged it. So in theory, this whole thing should lift out now. I just gotta move it around, so sit tight. All right, it's out. I just need to transfer this bracket around it to the new one and then install it, and we should be good to go. It's not taking that long. But yeah, so fixed all that, fixed the secondary air pump myself and the fuse, and obviously everything was good now because both valves were replaced. And then I took the car back to the state ref, had to prove that the monitors were set, so I had to send in via an email some pictures of my code reader basically saying they were set, which did that. And then yeah, it was the same guy. He remembered me. He was super nice. Made it to the state ref. Also, I bought a bike and it doesn't really fit in my car, so it's sticking out the back, but hopefully I pass. Yeah, she passed. We're street legal again. So sick. Only took 3 months. But anyways, that was my state ref thing. Don't bypass or hot smog your car, kids. Just keep it stocked in California, or I'm not going to advise what else to do, but there's ways around it in other states. So yeah, thanks for watching. More content coming soon. Cheers.